Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Now, if you know anything about the political state of the UK right now, the first and main concern right now from the right wingers seems to be immigration, immigration, immigration. And now for people that care so much about immigration, you would expect them to know exactly how immigration works, what are the legal routes to come into the country, and what are the legal routes to stay or be in the country. The problem is they don't seem to understand. And right here, Konstantin Kisin is about to prove exactly why they have a misunderstanding about immigration. But if you like what you see, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Let's get into it.
How are 55 or 60,000 people coming to this country illegally on a boat? How is that happening? That's insane. The year I came to Britain, 1996, 55,000 people came here legally. And now we have more people than that coming illegally every year.
And that's exactly what they keep getting wrong, okay? Immigration works like this. If you come on a boat, right, into the country seeking asylum, that's not illegal. It's protected by the 1949 Human Rights Convention. It's not illegal to seek asylum from another country in this country. It's not. Illegal immigration or any illegal migrants are people that already got the papers to be in this country and they overstayed their welcome in this country. The visas run out and they're still in this country. That's the only illegal people in this country. Every other way, that's not illegal. Coming here on a boat is not illegal. That's the first one, the most important one. And I feel like they really need to get that right. Secondly, it talks about how many people came back when he first came to this country. Newsflash, but that was almost 30, 40 years ago. The population has risen a long way 40 years ago. Of course, that's what happens. And now the numbers that come to this country is probably going to be on the up because population gets bigger, people move about more. The more globalized the whole world is, the more people move about. That's just human nature. We're improving, by the way. Like, I don't understand how we're surprised by those numbers, but let's keep going.
And we're an island? We literally have water around us. People have to get on a boat to come here. How is it happening? It's insanity. And therefore people will conclude that it's a result of a legal structure or whatever that's causing this thing that should not be happening. No country can have illegal immigration at these levels. It's absurd.
He almost got it right, but then he went back to, no country can have illegal migration. He almost got it right because of the way the system is set up. That's it, he got that right. But almost like, no, I can't agree with that because if I agree with that, my whole argument falls apart. So I need to go back, oh no, it's illegal migration. Because when you say something is illegal, obviously most people will be like, oh no, that shouldn't be allowed. He almost got it right, but his brain went back to like default settings.
It's just absurd. And because that's the position we're in, we're having this debate, and immigration is the deciding issue for a lot of people. I was talking to somebody who is a Lib Dem the other day, and he was talking about how illegal immigration is such a big problem. And it's also true for the Tories and for Reform. And I think for Labour too. It's very high on people's list of concerns. So
when you're going to talk about people coming to this country, what the concern should be. It shouldn't be people coming here illegally because it says 55,000. That's minuscule compared to the people that are coming here legally. If you want to actually reduce the amount of people coming to this country, your focus shouldn't be people that are coming here like they represent like probably like 2% of the amount of people coming to this country. It should be focused on the legal means to come to this country, like work visas, like student visas, like all these visas should be the ones you're cared about. You should actually worry about, not the illegal means that you're talking about that brings in like 50,000. Like the legal way to come to this country brings in around approximately like 700,000 when it comes to like when you put it from like people that come in and people that actually leave the country. I don't know why he's so focused on that. It's so weird.
So you're gonna, if you want to be elected at the next election, you're gonna have to be very, very clear about what you're gonna do and very robust on it.
I'd be interested in your views on people's concerns about immigration and, if you like, whether there's a hierarchy in there. How much of it's economic, it's pressure on our jobs, pressure on our infrastructure. how much of it's we're a small island and we haven't got room, and how much of it's about further, if you like, cultural disruption and weakening of the society?
I think a lot of it is all of those things. I think the cultural disruption thing is the thing that people feel strongest, because I think we live in a very alienating time anyway.
Yes.
We spend so little time connecting with other human beings in the flesh. We spend so much time online that the sense of community is naturally deteriorating anyway. Then increasingly people travel more and settle in countries that are different to the one that they come from quite often. People relocate a lot. So maybe not countries, but someone who grew up in the north of England might be living in London now. That used to be more rare. Now it's very, very common. People move much further away. So they're not estranged, but they're distanced from family. They see each other more frequently. And so the sense that it's easier to form communities with people who are more like you culturally and in terms of values, right? So when you have a lot of cultural disruption, when the person who lives next door to you is not someone who you understand very well, and it's maybe a little bit more difficult to make that connection, then I think it's natural that the more and more and more of that happening is not something people particularly welcome. It doesn't mean that we can't.
I mean, he says that, right? Like, oh, the more diversity you have, the more people are less likely to be able to adhere to whatever means you live or whatever values you follow. To a certain extent, that's true. But then he's saying it like every single person that comes here from a different background or two different cultures cannot have the same underlying values about it. Everyone can come here and the food they eat, the time that they go out, the way they dress can be different. But underlying all these like different cultural norms can still be the idea of respect towards different cultures, not to discriminate against different cultures, admiring different cultures. If this is the stronghold that holds every culture or every values together, then it wouldn't matter at all the idea that there's diversity everywhere, as long as you believe that people have the right to do what they want, and also that you respect that people have different cultures. If you already believe in that, then it will mean no problem at all. But do you want to guess the people that have problem with that? The people that believe their own culture is superior to other cultures, they will have a problem with that. Also, people that don't respect other cultures, they will be the ones to have a problem with different cultures or diversity. But the problem is, it shouldn't be that way, because if you respect people having different cultures, then it wouldn't even matter at all, even if there is a lot of diversity. But hey, like, it's totally fine to be British and want British culture to be the dominant culture in the country. But don't make it seem like every other culture is just erasing British culture and then British people are lost in the country. Like, that's just not true at all. British culture, undeniably, is still the dominant culture in this country. And rightfully so, you would expect to say, right? But it's not like your cultural values is under threat. Like, it really isn't. Most people that have a certain type of culture typically live around each other. Most people that have a different culture from another country, that come from another country, they typically stay in the same areas because they want to feel accepted as well. So it's not like they're invading British areas. No, they typically go in their own way to make sure they are accepted in whatever area that they want to be in. So, like, his point doesn't really make any sense.
Adjust to each other over time and get to know our neighbors of a different background and whatever, but I think there's a sense that integration is only possible when the quantity is appropriate, when the number of people coming is manageable. It's like food. You like food, but you wouldn't have 3 meals over the course of an hour because you can't digest all of that. It's the same with people coming. I think immigration can be immensely beneficial to a country.
Well, it certainly has been to Australia.
Yeah.
Except to say this, that if you build it too quickly, and if the people coming in don't particularly share, and this is where multiculturalism can end up destroying culture for everyone. Hang on to your core values, because we think, I unashamedly say, you want to come here because our country is a great place because our core values have made it so.
Exactly.
Don't undermine them.
Absolutely.
And
so it's a combination of those two things, isn't it?
I mean, like, it says that, don't undermine our values and our cultures. That's fine, right? No one is undermining your culture or anything. First of all, these people just want to come, get a good job, have a good life, and do the thing. That's number one, right? Number two, the most important things that these people should follow, they're not British cultures. These are just normal human cultures at the very least. Don't commit crimes, respect other people. Like, this is prevalent over every culture in the world, most cultures in the world. Like, every other country, if that's an American, what is it about American culture that you like? Oh, the fact that, oh, there's freedom of right, freedom of speech, the fact we don't marginalize other groups of people. If you ask the people, what's British culture, they will say something similar. So it clearly isn't like British thing. It's just human thing, okay? And these are the things that you should say, oh, okay, people should respect. And most people, for the most part, do respect it. So it has nothing to do with any British culture or anything. Like, it's just something else to mask their own agenda.
I mean, that's why I object very strongly, I'm afraid, to people coming here and saying we want Sharia law, for example.
Yeah.
We don't want Sharia law.
No, we don't.
I don't think any Muslim person is coming to this country saying they want Sharia law. I don't think so. Like, there's no, where is that? Who the hell is coming to this country saying, oh no, let's propose the bill for Sharia? Like, that's insane. Come on. No one is doing that.
We don't. And it's not just about that. Sharia law is an extreme example.
Very extreme.
It's much easier to point our finger at and say, we don't want people who want a theocratic government in this country. That's not a hard thing to say. A much harder thing to say is we want the number of people coming to be such that they end up integrating into our society and becoming British, as opposed to staying whatever it is that they were when they first came here. And that doesn't necessarily look like wanting Sharia law. It may be other practices or other things that are not compatible with our culture. And they're not just from that particular Muslim community that you're talking about. It could be all sorts of other ones. We need the numbers to be manageable so that everybody can become British over time and dissolve in this pool that we have, instead of becoming a chunk of something in the soup. It's not quite.
Then focus on the legal means that provides way more migrant people into this country than people coming on boats. Like, surely that should be your first concern then. The passage, the route at which most people come from. Then if that's the case, if what you're saying is true, then you wouldn't like give a shit about people coming on boats. Your first concern would be people coming out looking for work. Student visas. These are the two ways, most common ways people come to this country. That should be his focus.
Quite the same thing. I really think people have a duty to integrate fully into culture and to make those racial and ethnic backgrounds irrelevant over time. That's what we should be aiming for. It's to a large extent what they're pursuing in America. They have a different history, and when it comes to the African American population, it's a little bit different. But broadly speaking, that vision that everyone is American and everything else second, that's what we need to have. It's the only way that a multi-ethnic society can work, when everybody wants to become part of that society. And anything that is a barrier to that is a problem for us.
Just nonsense. Like, it's just I don't want to say hatred, but like the discomfort with people coming to this country is masked around the idea that, oh, when they come, they don't respect our culture or our values. That's not true. Just say you don't want people to come to this country because the numbers are too high. Not because, oh no, when they come here, they cause disruption by diversity. It's too much. They don't follow the British. No, just say the numbers are too high and it makes us feel uncomfortable. And like economically and politically, it's not good. That's it. You don't need to mask it with, oh no, I'm fighting for the British values. No, that's not the case. But anyways, it's just proving the right again. Like, the right just look at this without actually thinking of a reasonable solution. They're just masking what their own real agenda is. They're masking with something different that they think will appeal to other people. But I think it's quite obvious what the agenda actually is here. But if you've made it this far, thank you very much. You can drop a like on the video if you enjoyed what you saw. You can drop a comment as well, it'll be much appreciated. And if you want to see more of this, you can subscribe. Thank you.